Hi, I'm Delphi Harrison. In this video, I'm going to talk about conceptual art, the artist Sol LeWitt, his work, a not straight line from the left side to the right, drawn at a convenient height, and the importance of inclusive art practice. I first came across Sol LeWitt in this book, 6 Years, The Dematerialization of the Art Object, by Lucy Lippard. As Lippard states in the title, it's a bibliography of so-called conceptual or information or idea art, over the years 1966 to 1971. On page 28, I came across an excerpt from LeWitt's Paragraphs on Conceptual Art, first published in Art Forum, summer 1967, in which he lays out a series of statements defining his position on conceptual art. He says, "In conceptual art, the idea or concept is the most important aspect of the work. The idea becomes a machine that makes the art. Conceptual art is not necessarily logical. The ideas need not be complex. Most ideas that are successful are ludicrously simple. Ideas are discovered by intuition. Conceptual art is only good when the idea is good." Born in 1928, LeWitt is primarily known for his wall drawings and structures, a term he preferred over sculptures. In 1960, LeWitt took a job as a museum guard at the Museum of Modern Art, where he met Lucy Lippard, who worked in the library there. LeWitt's practice sat within a wider rejection of commercialized art and the value system that upheld it, such as notions of authorship and genius. Along with his contemporaries Mel Bochner, Carl Andre, and Joseph Kosuth, LeWitt is now regarded as a central figure within the conceptual and minimalist art movement. From 1968 onwards, LeWitt began to conceive sets of guidelines or diagrams for his wall drawings, stressing that the idea was more important than the physical work. He saw the role of an artist as similar to that of an architect, who may design plans for a building, but not go on site and construct it. LeWitt asserted that an artwork could have multiple manifestations, each unique to the site and person who executed it. He said, "Each person draws a line differently, and each person understands words differently." His instructions often double for the title for each work. In his delegation of responsibility, he undermined the significance of authorship and the artist's hand. Despite this, his wall drawings emphasize the primacy and the intimacy of the act of drawing, and the individuality of each human touch. His work makes me think about the artist Banksy, who reclaimed walls of buildings as a site for art, challenging the use of advertising billboards and the commercialization of external spaces, interrogating art as commodity through his unsanctioned public works. LeWitt's wall drawings interest me because of their accessibility, as they allow anybody to become the artist and are drawn directly on the wall. I came across drawing 134 in the book Sol LeWitt, 100 Views. It stood out because it is so personal. Anyone can easily create it, and it will always be unique to the person who does. His statement, "Each person understands words differently," is exemplified in the central word convenient. What is convenient to one person can differ greatly to another. By asserting convenience at the heart of the work, he offers each person an open canvas to create a work that reflects their individuality and needs. His legacy is clear from books such as 100 Views. The volume demonstrates the prevailing significance of his work today, but it is also a collection of 100 personal experiences of people who either knew him or had close associations with his work. One such is the artist Dove Bradshaw, who met Sol through her partner William Anastasi and began to trade work with him. The book documents how she executed her own version of Sol's 1972 work, Wall Drawing 134, in an art exhibition called One in New York in 2007, shortly after LeWitt died. A review at the time wrote that the work reads like an abstract posthumous signature. But I still wanted to know more about the original work. The only existing image of it doesn't indicate who drew it or where it was drawn, and my research hasn't uncovered further detail. I wondered why this modest artwork, presented amidst 99 others, often more complex, colourful or well-known, had caught my eye, and why, though it's recorded here, it has remained largely out of view, obscured. I realised that the line felt both bold and personal, a statement of the artist who had declared it was enough. I loved how the title was a line in itself, and I felt that the two became interchangeable. The line represented the title, and the title represented the line. Both are manifestations of the idea. Ironically, the simplicity of the work profoundly expanded my view of what art could be. I felt my own practice free up. I became less inhibited in my work, and began to appreciate that my ideas, my unique interpretation of the world around me, had a value. I also see how the line, as a universal form and mark-making, can be traced through all art history, from the very first wall drawings, through music history, literature, movement and dance. A line represents a route. It signals intent. LeWitt's vision acutely reflects our own current focus on inclusivity and access, not only within the arts but in wider society. The social model of disability recognises that it is society that disables people through its inadmissible systems and ableism. I love drawing 134 because it symbolises more than that art is for everyone. It says that society and culture, politics, space, architecture, our interior and exterior world must reflect, re-articulate, and reconstruct itself based on inclusive practice. Reflecting back to the not straight line that Dove Bradshaw drew in 2007, which one reviewer described as a posthumous signature, I like to think that each line drawn is a signature of the person who drew it. Go ahead and draw your own.